What's going on, YouTubers? This is Harry, aka the Brand Builder, and in today's video I want to talk about how you can make an extra $1,000 a month with little effort. I got some notes here, but I know that sounds crazy, and believe you me, it is possible. It is not impossible, all right? But I wanted to let my subscribers and loyal viewers who are not subscribed to my channel know that whenever I make these videos here on YouTube, so that people who stumble upon these videos can understand before the point has to be made, that everything within the video is the point. Everything that I discuss in the video is the point. And knowing the definition of the word point, and why sometimes I have to describe myself to people who comment and don't understand my channel. Get to the point. The definition of the word point is basically concluding something. Like if I was on my way to work and that was my destination, and that was my point of destination, that was where I was trying to get to. During that travel, I'm building up to get to that point. I'm working on getting to the point. When I've reached the point, my job is done, right? So it's almost like saying the video is done. So maybe if you watch the whole video, you'll see the point. But everything that I discuss within the video reaches to the conclusion of the point. But all things said is necessary in order for you to understand what is being elaborated on. So I'm translating my knowledge to you so that you can learn and gain knowledge from what I am discussing. Okay? So now that we got that out of the way, make sure you go to the link below and follow me on Twitter so that you can stay up to what's going on. And also, if you do not have a Twitter account, set one up and follow me anyway. That way, I'm the only person that shows up in your timeline, in your stream for Twitter, and then you'll know, because if you check your Twitter, you say, hey, the Brand Builder's got another video. Let's see what's going on. Maybe I could watch the video, gain some knowledge. Anyway, so let's talk about a couple of things. Another thing I wanted to discuss before I get into the hints, because they're only hints and suggestions, okay? You're going to have to do your own research and create an evaluation that's going to work for you. So this is just basically going to open up the portals of thought, right? I can't give detailed information on how to reach these points or reach this objective or reach your goal of making $1,000 a month, because to everyone who watches this video, everybody is different who watches this video. Everyone is different. If I was to say, for example, everybody's going to make $1,000 a month on eBay, or everyone's going to be a network marketing specialist. Network marketing is not going to work for everybody. eBay is not going to work for everybody, because that specific business model will not always contour to everyone's personality. So I'm not going to make a hyper generalization that everyone can do eBay, everyone can do network marketing. But what I can say is that everyone has a passion that drives them. And this is what I'm going to be discussing in my helpful tips. So remain ambitious and know that this is for entertainment purposes only, but also to inspire thought. Okay? I am not responsible for what you choose or experiment with in order to do so. So tip number one is don't work two jobs unless you absolutely have to raise capital for what you are trying to accomplish. If you need to buy materials, like for example, if you want to become a photographer, right? And that's the business that you want to do, which leans into number two, actually, your passion. Okay, you like taking photos and stuff like that, or whatever, and you need to extra income to get a camera, a digital camera, maybe a Nikon or something like that. You want to be able to make sure that you don't have to waste too much of your finances. You can raise money for finances to get everything you need, maybe editing equipment, maybe editing software, or anything like that, right? So no matter what your passion is, Try not to work 2 jobs unless you absolutely have to. And the reason why I say try not to work 2 jobs is because you also kill your ambition with your dream, and you won't be able to make an extra $1,000 a month without that second job. And usually what happens with people who get second jobs, 9 times out of 10, they're doing it out of a need. They're doing it to supply a need, not an ambition. Like, for example, if I went out and got a car where the payments are $700 a month and the insurance is really high, and I say I'm going to need a second job to pay all these bills, that's usually the derivative for getting a second job. You don't really want a second job to build your dreams, because most people will lean towards pleasure rather than pain, and 2 jobs is kind of like pain. So you want to get a second job only to raise capital. All right, so that you can do what you feel passionate about and make money from it so that you're happy. Because just like I had said before in one of my videos, I said that money isn't everything, and it's not an excuse that most lazy people use. This is fundamentally correct from someone who is a proponent of capitalism, because I understand money isn't everything, because if you're not happy making money, you're leaning into something that's going to really basically take away the joy out of your life, right? So you want to make sure that you're happy, and being happy, you can make more money, and you won't get deterred when things don't always go your way, right? Which is where I'm going to reach my conclusion at some point pretty soon. So lean into your passion is number 2. I already discussed number 1. Lean into your greatest passion and make it a business model. I talked about the photography thing. All right. If you wanted to do YouTube and monetize your channel, now, meanwhile, understand that not everybody's going to be successful at this. Not everybody's going to be successful. And here's the proof. A lot of the messages that I discuss on YouTube, all right, there are some people who actually watch a lot of videos on YouTube and that are subscribed to me, and they have a larger audience than I do. For some particular reason, maybe they're better at articulating their message. They have a larger audience than me. And I can tell that they're watching some of my videos and they're utilizing my information to grow their channel, and they're becoming more successful than I am, which is okay. I have no problem with that, because I tend to be a little bit more versatile in my business models, and this isn't everything to me here. And plus, it's not the reason why I created my channel. I created my channel to help people out. So, for example, they're really doing really well at some of my messages, but sometimes you'll notice that some of these people that are discussing these strategies and tips are not doing some of the things that they're talking about. And everything that I talk about on this channel is something that I've done or am currently doing. Like if somebody's talking about doing bottle returns and they look like they've never done it before, or they don't have knowledge about how it works or what's involved with it, then you know that they're basically just getting their information from elsewhere. But that's fine. Number 3, okay, become a passive income specialist, right? Now, making passive income is not something that everyone's good at. And in fact, most people are bad at it. Most people quit. Now, here's a prop that I was going to use in this video, but I have a prop. I found this in my pocket, right? This is $4 right here. Now, suppose you had something that was getting you passive income, and all you saw was $4. Meanwhile, you know people out there that are making a few grand, driving sports cars and doing all the things you wish you were doing, and maybe you're only making $4 and some change, right? You have to understand that your business model is going to grow at some point. For some people, it happens right away, right? Some people are really lucky. They start something, and then all of a sudden, 6 months later, they are booming. Maybe bigger than you ever think. Maybe some people, they could start making $10,000 a month right away, right? So with other people, it might take them 10 years to make $500 a month. And it may seem unfair, but it's just a part of their journey. It's just the person, and as far as their drive and ambition can take them at the time. Not everybody is built of the same material. Sometimes it just happens to be where that person is, or what the foundation that they set before them before they started doing certain things, or maybe they had more experience at automating things in the past that made it easier for them to do the specific thing that they're trying to do. So don't compare yourself to other people. Some people's journey happen right away. Their leap to success, it happens a little faster than others. Other people, it's going to take a while longer. That doesn't mean that you're not successful. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. Do not quit. If you see growth, do not quit. The idea of being an entrepreneur, you don't look for immediate return on investment. I think some people think that you're supposed to get immediate return on investment, and that's just not true. Immediate return on investment is something that working class people do. That's the reason why you go to work. You trade your time for money so you can get a paycheck, because it happens immediately. Some people get paid every week. Some people get paid every 2 weeks. There are even some jobs that pay you once a month. Right? So some people are looking for immediate return on investment. You get a job. That's exactly what you get a job for. This is the reason why I say don't work 2 jobs, because now you're going to be doing the immediate return on investment kind of mentality and thing. And you really need to be steering clear from the immediate return on investment and focusing more on growth, which is the real definition of being an entrepreneur. And this is where you're going to grow. And that's why I said that for some people, the mission is going to be a little bit more delayed. You can try your hardest sometimes. You can go out there and do the best you can. And sometimes it just happens later. Maybe 10 years after, or maybe even sometimes 20 years, you'll reach 1,000. And then sometimes it can only be another 24 hours before one good thing pops, and then you go from 1,000 or 1 week to $5,000 to $10,000 out of nowhere. So your biggest goal and ambition can happen fast after it was happening slow. Or maybe you'll learn something. Like, let's suppose you were investing in the stock market and you've been doing it for a long time, and you're making like $500 a month passive income, and you're like, oh, well, how am I going to get further? This thing takes a while. It takes too long. Stock, so compound interest. Well, what happens when you start, or you craft a class teaching people how to invest, and that class, a webinar that is on automation, starts making you a lot of money? Like, all of a sudden you start checking, you're making $200 a day teaching webinars, right? Based on what your knowledge of, or you write a book and that book becomes a bestseller. So there's a lot of different ways, paths, and journeys to success, and you'll learn them as you get started. The thing is to get started, because sometimes the business that you start in is not always the business that you end in. This is why I'm making this video, because I want to tell everyone the truth, and I don't want people getting disappointed when it doesn't happen fast. Every once in a while, you'll start seeing that you're making $10 a month. Be happy, be rejoiceful in this. Be satisfied with at least seeing that. Be somewhat excited, because your journey is still going. You're going to continue to see more growth. Continue to push forward. Continue to see growth. Continue to visualize and see things bigger, because you can do it. You can make another $1,000 a month. All right? You may not have to get that second job. Okay? You want to not sacrifice your time with family and loved ones just for money, because money isn't everything. Okay, stop working so hard and let your money work for you. Let your passions work for you. Let what you are work for you. Don't always work for it. Don't always work for other people. Work for yourself. Create a habit where you disattach yourself from the matrix and learn how to attach yourself to passion, drive, and will. I see this stuff all the time. People with these arguments on social media saying, oh, I barely make $1,000 a month. The big, I support the Bernie Sanders, and he's going to raise the minimum wage all the way up higher than ever before. And I can respect people's drive in wanting to see more income and trying to change the system of the matrix to work for them. But the rules of society are the rules of society. And sometimes the matrix is not going to work to your benefit. You might be disappointed. You might think you get what you want, and it won't happen. So here I am to tell you the truth, that you want to lean out of the matrix and lean into your passion and let your passion take you to the next level. And have a big vision and see things big. Maybe you need to disattach yourself from people who think so small, right? You got small thinking people and they're talking all this small stuff all day long. They're in your ear talking small. That's all you're doing. You're listening to small thoughts, small ideas, and they're just turning your brains into mush, right? Stay away from these people with these small talking points all the time, with the negativity, how they can't do this and how they can't do that. This can't stuff is toxic. It shouldn't be in anybody's vocabulary. And if you're associating with people who are continuously saying can't, and why is this way, that way, and I wish I had it lucky like this, and look at them, they're just lucky. Get away from people like that, because they're not going to grow. You want to get around people who are ready for growth and ready for development. This is why you should really subscribe to this channel. Because if you feel this way, this message is probably for you. I'm going to conclude this video, and if somebody doesn't see that I got to the point somehow, you feel like I didn't get to the point, there's no point in life except for death. That's the point. Now life is over. You've reached the point. The objective is to live and learn. If you stop learning, you're dead. There are many different ways to die other than physically dying and no longer being here consciously. You can die by limiting yourself in experience and knowledge and in passion and in dream. You can even limit your love life. You can even limit your passion to love. How? You can burn yourself, be burned by other people, continuously be burned by other people because you burned yourself. You usually burn yourself before someone else burns you. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes somebody can burn you and you can't get up. You know, it's like being knocked on the floor. If anybody's seen that movie Rocky, look at Rocky Balboa. All right? He would always get knocked down first. But it was that will, that heart, that drive to get back up and fight again that got Rocky Balboa up and made him a champion. All right? So that's all I got to say on this topic. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If I didn't get to the point, what am I talking about? Make $1,000 a month. I told you already. Lean into your passion. The message is not the same for everybody. I wish I could say, oh, you could do it through YouTube. But that's not true. Some people will tell you that. Oh, you got to make a YouTube channel, monetize it. It's not for everybody. Some people, you could be on YouTube here for years and you'll never get beyond $10 because your message is not going to go viral. You don't have what it takes in order to get that following. You can try, and then you could develop other habits and develop other strategies. Me personally, I don't expect to get to a point on YouTube where I make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. If it happens, I'll be grateful for it. But my strategy is to present the information, put the content out, and then create other content symbolic to the content so that I can get somewhere with what I'm doing, because my goal belongs to me. I am not limited by this engine or this site. I'm not limited to it. I'm empowered by it because it gives me what I need to go further. And while I have the audience that I have, I'm going to utilize that audience as a way to project my message and continue to create that funnel and tell them, hey, come with me, come with me. All right? If I tell you, come with me over here, and you follow me over there, or come with me over here, you follow me over there, that's going to all be great. But I definitely want people subscribing to this channel and following me. Excuse me, guys. So that we can make this message something powerful. All right? So you guys have a good one. I hope my point was made. I do not know if it was, but if it wasn't, I apologize to anyone who is still confused. And maybe subscribe and maybe give me some suggestions in the comments to let me know what I could do better to help you see things more clear.